Hello guys, I'm Yalchin from SellerSprite. Today we have special guest Nader. We have been friends. I know at least him since 2020 from Wizards of Amazon. I watched his many PPC videos, Mastermind, and he has a lot of experience in the PPC world. Today, welcome Nader. How are you today?
I'm doing well, my friend. Nice to see you again. I think we've crossed paths quite a few times, but yeah, thanks for inviting me on your podcast. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Nowadays, I see many videos of you on the Facebook as platforms. You are explaining about ACOS, TACOS, how you help other sellers to improve their PPC. Today, I prepared some questions and I asked some of my friends, our audience, and I'm gonna ask all of those questions today. You can talk about that. Just before that, could you please give a little bit info about you and your background, what you are doing?
Sure. So I've been in the Amazon space for quite a bit. I was a seller back in 2016 up to 2020. When COVID hit, we stopped selling. And then we were also doing PPC management for brands. So after COVID, we only do PPC management because of course, we had, as I'm sure a lot of your listeners had, logistical issues, a lot of problems, as you know. So we decided to go full in with PPC management. So that's what we've been doing for the past, 5 years now straight. So yeah, we've seen a lot in the industry. A lot of things changed, but yeah, it's a constant learning platform for sure. You got to keep learning and trying different things and see what works and what doesn't work. So yeah, that's where we're at right now.
Okay, great. Let's go to questions because it's the one of the important part. When you launch PPC or monetizing your PPC campaign or your clients, how do you allocate the PPC budget? For example, first campaign, you are going to put this budget, next campaign. How do you optimize it from the beginning?
Ooh, that's a loaded question right there. So the way we approach it starts with budgeting how much the client. So we basically have a conversation with the client, understanding what the budget is, right? As lean as possible. The way we do it, we go for exact match campaigns, right? So we use like very, very highly relevant keywords, strictly exact match for launches, right? So we do that for the first, I would say, a week. We got to get the reviews, and then we jump into the different match types. Now, in terms of budget, we go a minimum of $10 per campaign, I think is fair, right? And then we gauge performance. And if they do work well, then of course, we bump up the budget, right? And it depends on how many keywords we have, obviously, right? We don't want to put too many campaigns, targets in one campaign. We limit it to like 10, right? No more than 10. But for the very important keywords, we do single campaign keyword, single keyword campaigns, right? And then we break the other ones for no more than 10. So it depends how many campaigns you have. It could add up, right? But a minimum of $10 per campaign. That's the way we do it.
Okay, it was another question as well you answered. Thank you for that. You are starting with exact match, very, very the exact keyword, define the product, and going with that for ranking. And here I would like to say, if you are starting PPC campaign, you have to have the goal for any campaign, right? For our campaign, we are also doing that. We should have the campaign goal. What's the role of this campaign? Then it's easy to set a budget and the bids, etc., etc. For example, you launch the campaign, product is ranking, and when you are gonna open your next campaign, either it's phrase or whatever the campaign.
So what we do is we have strict restrictions on, we don't move to, so we do it in different stages, right? Stage one is exact match campaigns.
Okay.
So we basically wait for at least 4.2 star reviews, and then we bump the other match types. And then the other ones we do phrase and broad. And then we might launch like a catch-all auto campaign, which does fairly well, like in terms of like getting more keyword relevant keywords, right? That people are searching for and then that convert, right? So yeah, but the trick, the way we see it, like very efficiently done, is waiting for a couple of good reviews, right? We don't move if the reviews are bad. We don't do anything. We got to make sure that we have a minimum of 4 to 5, 4.2 star reviews, and then we push forward. Okay, that's the way we do it.
What the keywords do you use in next phase? Like same keyword for exact match?
We use ideally we start with the same highly relevant but different match types. Yes, we do that, and then what we do is like an expansion where we do more of the not as highly relevant, but the other ones we do that in stage 3. So stage 2 is like when we do the phrase and broad and of the highly relevant things that convert, right? We do those. And then the next one, we harvest everything that comes in, and then we launch again, like different campaigns where conversions happened, right? And then again, we wait for like highly converting keywords, and we repeat the process again, right? So by month 1, I think we have everything pretty much. All the keywords we want to rank for should be launched by month 1. That's what we do.
Okay, is there phase 4? For your SOP, if you have, you
phase 4 is like testing like different. As long as we're ranking for everything we want to rank for, then we test different. Like we do like suggested keywords, for example, suggested ASINs, because at that point you know that the listing is well optimized, right? If everything is running well, you have good conversion rate, you have good reviews, so you know the listing is pretty solid, right? At this point. So then you could do like suggested. We like suggested keywords. By suggested meaning the algorithm tells you, Amazon's algorithm, right? We have a system where we launch relevant. They have to be relevant, of course, right? We download the list of what Amazon is suggesting. We go over them manually. It's a manual process at this point. And then we make sure that we test all that stuff. That's how we get more keywords than. Sometimes we find something you're not expecting, right? It happens, right? So the algorithm is ever changing, right? People are always typing different things, so new keywords come up all the time. So this one is a good way of like harvesting new stuff, and yeah, you keep repeating that stuff. And then this is only sponsored products, by the way. We mainly do sponsored products for the first, I would say, 4 or 5 months. Only sponsored products from launch to like profitability. Once we hit profitability, then you can like test different placement, like sponsored brands and sponsored display stuff.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks. What about sponsored product targeting ads like ASIN you are targeting? And do you use it on launch phase, or when do you use it? You launch the product, it's going to rank, everything is fine. When you are targeting those products?
ASIN targeting, initially, we have a very limited, we find the top, let's say 10, 15 top competitors that we have competitive advantage over. Only those we launch using that. So we launch using exact match campaigns for products, right? Targeting. And then we also do ASIN targeting. Those are the 2 types we do, pretty much. We don't do anything else, yeah.
Okay, let's compare the sales from someone is searching the bamboo pillow, coming to your product and buying your product. We compare this rate with someone is searching bamboo pillow, going to your competitor's product, click it, and under that, he's finding your product and coming to your product and purchasing your product and checkout. In that case, we think it has also effect for keyword ranking. How do you think?
So is the you said bamboo pillow? Is that highly relevant? It's not a branded keyword, obviously. It's just a highly relevant keyword, right?
Yeah, it's I suppose it's highly relevant, our keyword.
No, of course. I mean, the higher the like I said at the beginning, it's the relevancy is the most important thing. You want to go really relevant, highly relevant, the most relevant keywords that you have, which is like limited to like most people don't have more than 100, right? I
Yeah,
would say like 30, 20, 30, something like that, right? So yeah, those for sure help with ranking. That's pretty much what helps. These and then of course ASIN, like ASIN targeting campaigns help with ranking as well. Same as keyword targeting campaigns. So these two are the main ones you want to target for launch.
and so you overall you say it has almost same weight for ranking.
Same.
Okay.
Actually, they not only show up the same, the placements are about the same, pretty much. So you can't really differentiate between them. So in terms of like ranking, yeah, you got to use both
Okay.
because if you have a competitive advantage about on a well, the point is to create a product where you have a competitive advantage of someone that's already doing well. If you do have that, then they have traffic that you can take advantage of, right? That's the point, right? And you get ranked, you get benefits of ranking and of course sales by doing that, right?
For example, in our product targeting mainly, I've been selling on Amazon since 2018. Product targeting ads work fine, it's good. But same keywords we do display ads, it has always low conversion rate, maybe twice lower than product targeting ads. What's your experience?
Yeah.
How is it?
Sponsored display, you said, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I nowadays, it depends on where the brand is. If you're strictly profit driven, then really recommend doing minimum of that stuff. Really minimum sponsored display. They don't work that well. They don't work that well anymore. They used to, but yeah, the conversion rate is low, and yeah, man, it's a tough world. It's very competitive right now, so it's tough to justify spending all that money because they do not help for ranking, as you know. Sponsored brands doesn't really help. Sponsored display doesn't help. So it has to make financial sense for you to test it. If the conversion rate is low and you're not making enough profitable sale, it's not worth testing. It's not worth doing at all.
yeah,
We've tried a bunch of different ways. We like doing the defensive type, right? You show up at the bottom of the buy box. Those do okay, but it depends on the product, on the category, and all that. It's very dependent on what you sell, right? Sometimes it does okay, but at the end of the day, if you're not making enough profit to test them, then it's not worth it.
exactly.
So yeah, same with sponsored brands. It's nice to have brand awareness, right? You have it on top, the video, nice, pretty, but is it making you money? Period. Is people recognizing the brand more? Yeah, it might not be even worth it, right? A lot of the brands we run, we're doing really minimal stuff with that stuff. It's just too competitive right now, too expensive. Bigger brands that we manage, like if they're like upper 7 to 8 figure sellers, yeah, those can afford it. So yeah, typically they have like brands that are really well known. So yeah, you want to show up in terms of the top placement. So for branded keywords, for example, right, you want to defend your branded keywords, and sometimes it's not even worth it. Sometimes you got to test different things, turn them off, see if it helps, turn them back on, see if it makes sense. It's like a game, basically. You got to test different things to see what makes sense for your brand.
Exactly.
But,
It's working.
yeah, but I don't like censored. I tell the truth. Sponsored display is my least favorite type of ads. These are just, they don't get traction to begin with. You don't get that much volume. Again, you don't want to do VPCM stuff. We're actually testing VPCM in terms of like very limited defensive type campaigns. I would argue that could be okay. People don't like them, but I think it might make sense for some type of very highly priced products, maybe. Because the conversion, the attribution is based on views and clicks, right? Not just clicks, right? So it gets tricky. But yeah, but we like to play with that stuff, test them out and see what makes sense. But I don't like them too much. Sponsored display.
Okay, let's go to the next question. For your accounts, is PPC sales are profitable or mainly not? If profitable, when maybe first 5 months, 6 months, or when it's going to be profitable? What's your situation on that cases?
All the brands we manage, all of them are profitable with PPC. They are, because they're more like, they're 7-figure sellers, right? They've been selling for a while. They have a proven system for launches. So everything gets profitable after like 2 months maximum. Not all of them. Of course, it's a hit and miss. You got to launch and test and see. But overall, yeah, the main point is to be profitable. I don't have any brands in the supplements niche. Supplements are different. I think you might break even on PPC to gain organic ranking traction, and maybe you're profitable that way. But yeah, PPC for us is profitable on both ends. I like brands like that better in terms of like very niche. I like the niche stuff, right? Like really people who are like experts in their niche. They understand the market. They get like technical stuff. I love as well, because those are definitely profitable for sure from the get-go. Within a month, we're profitable because it's very they understand the market well, so they know what to launch, right? You have to understand the market really well.
I agree with you. Nowadays, it's not as before. You should understand the product, technical parts, your customer audience, why this product is working this way. Here, it's very important to know the niche.
Yes.
It's going to be really difficult.
And also I tend to favor local manufacturing as well. US manufacturers. I love those guys too, because they control the supply chain themselves, right? You don't need to rely on China. I mean, if you have to, it's fine. But the ones that do the best control manufacturing. They control the whole, from marketing to supply chain. If you manage to control all that stuff, then you're going to be in good shape, So you control the whole thing.
Okay.
Except Amazon, you can't control anything on there, right? You control what you can, right? You can. You control what you can. Yeah.
For example, what the percentage of total sales are coming from PPC and from the organic? If you divide, is there anything you can say?
Yeah, sure. We aim for less than 50%. We don't want to have more than 50% of sales coming from PPC, lower than 50%. So we go like 40. Some of them have really low, like 20, 30. Depends on the niche, of course. Yeah, but we don't like going over 50%. It's kind of like it's okay at times, I guess, if it's like really competitive and it's highly reliant on like pushing targeting, I guess ranking, then yeah. But we tend to aim below 50%.
Yeah, especially in the growing phase or maybe launching phase, definitely PPC sales are more. But
yes. Overall, no, for sure. This doesn't include launching, of course. Launches are different, right? Yeah, launches are you could. That's fine if you start with like 80% or 90% or whatever it is. But as long as you're gaining organic ranking, then that's fine, right? That's the point. Ultimately, you're gonna rank. That's the only way you make money. Otherwise, not gonna make any money, right?
For example, you compare the beats 3 years ago, 2 years, and nowadays.
Yeah.
How do you see the beats?
Oh, it's going like this. It's up. I think I haven't really looked at exactly, but I would say they're up. If I had to guess, I mean, I'm not exact numbers. I would say they go up like 10% per year. I would say maybe somewhere there is realistic. They're going up for sure because it's a bidding platform. The more people bid, the higher it's gonna go, right? Our job as PPC managers or managing companies, we gotta make sure we don't overspend. But sometimes you can't control it. It's just like it's market driven, pretty much. If Amazon is good at like pushing sellers to bid more, Prime Day is coming, increase your bid by 100%, right? The type of things like that, right? People who don't know, okay, let's do it, but no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to go crazy with that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's a constant push. Like you gotta, it's their Amazon best interest to push more PPC sales. That's how they make a lot of money, right? So their incentive, they're actually telling you it's a good thing, but it's not. In actuality, it's not. As you know, people who don't know PPC, what they do, they double their. We actually do the opposite. Sometimes we cut the bids, right? You gotta restrict the bleeding at times because Prime Day for the niche stuff is not good. They don't do good. The
Yeah.
ACOS goes through the roof, you know,
The,
and it's tough.
the previous years we did several times Prime Day, etc. deals, but maybe none of them was profitable. So nowadays we are not doing any like the Friday, Black Friday, Prime Day.
Yeah, exactly. Unless, if you are doing like electronics, maybe, yeah, you got to do that stuff. It depends on the product for sure. Like electronics is a must. If you do electronics, then you have to. Otherwise, you're not going to make any sales really. But we don't do anything electronics. So, what we see is like in terms of like year over year, Prime Day has been a bad day typically for the brands we manage. It's just like people are shopping for deals. We don't give deals. It doesn't make sense to us. So we
Yes.
just so we're cutting instead of like going what they say, we go the other way around. We actually cut the budgets and then see what's going on, right? If it's performing, then we might give it a little bit more budget. But we were very, very strict with the budget on those days because it could get out of control fast.
Yeah. Previous years, this year also we did like decreasing bid before Prime Day or lowering the
Yeah.
campaign budget for 1 day ago, 2 days
Yep.
ago, because
Yep.
there are many window shopping coming and they clicking.
Exactly. They click like crazy. They're looking for 50% off, 70% off. We don't do that, so they're not gonna buy it, right? If you don't do like 50% off, they're not gonna buy. Besides, like I said, we do niche stuff which are not electronics, so people are not typically looking for deals on those things, anyways. So.
Okay, let's go to next question. For you, which one has better conversion in terms of PPC and the organic, the customer search product, click, organic product versus ads product? Which one has better conversion? And the second, related with that, if we are doing ranking, is PPC sale better for a ranking or organic sale is better for ranking? Do you have any opinion or test it, or what's your opinion?
So let's talk about the second part first. So you're saying is PPC sales for good for ranking? Is that what you're saying? Oh, for sure, 100%.
No, I mean, which one is better?
Organic or PPC sales?
Yeah, if there is a weight, if we weight them.
That's an interesting question. I would say, which is better? In my opinion, it would be organic would have more weight for ranking. I would think that makes sense, but I don't know how the algorithm works. We don't know really. That's kind of hard to prove, right? How would you prove that? If I had to guess, I would say organic ranks higher. I mean, weighs more than PPC, I would think, because with the organic stuff, it's like, remember that the algorithm, Amazon itself favors it's branding, it's customer eccentric, right? So it loves customer. Whatever they think is good, that's what they reward, right? So organic tells them that sells well. People like what they buy and conversion rate. So if it's organic and then converting well, I think that's the key right there. But again, I think PPC helps with that, right? Of course, sure. But if I had to pick like organic versus PPC, for sure, organic wins 100%, But again, it's hard to really tell which one. But in my opinion, it would be organic. What do you think?
I'm not sure, because sometimes some technical guys talk about that. I'm sure they are not also sure about that which one, but
Nobody knows how it works really. But it makes sense though, right? Organic would win, I would think. But you don't know. We don't know that stuff. They don't tell us that.
okay.
I mean, they could, but
difficult. Which one has better conversion, do you think?
PPC has better conversion rate, in our opinion. If you do the right targeting, I mean, we have higher conversion rate than PPC. Overall conversion rate. If you look at like the listing conversion rate and our PPC conversion rate, PPC is better. Once you dial everything dial in, if it's highly relevant, it does better overall. For certain campaigns, actually, absolutely, for sure. We have campaigns that convert at 15, 20%, where the product is higher price product, it's like 6 or 7 organically. So if you really highly relevant stuff should convert better, obviously, right? Where you have, where you have all the generic stuff piled into one, the averaging, if you pick like organically one keyword, highly relevant, and you pick one PPC, then I would say they convert about the same, I would say. But overall, PPC conversion rate is higher than our listing conversion rate. So,
Yeah, I think so too. We analyze in
as long as you don't have too many broad match campaigns or auto campaigns, right? Because those convert lower, right? So you want to have like highly relevant manual. Yeah, you don't want to go sponsored brands, sponsored product, manual targeting, keyword campaigns. Those convert better.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to say that our conversion is also much more better, maybe even twice better, especially when we analyze traffic. Of course, there are many traffics from different resources, but from the reports, business reports, always I think that PPC is better converting.
Yes, convert better, which means that maybe it helps more with organic because conversion is very important, as we know. So. Maybe that's maybe.
Go next one, negating the keywords. The keywords. What's your opinion when you are going to negate any keywords in like phrase match or broad match when it's getting click but not converting? And here,
so the way we do it. No, go ahead, finish.
If it's a relevant keyword, you think this keyword, it's very troublesome, this kind of keywords. I think this is very relevant, but getting click more and more, but no good conversion. What are you doing this case?
So what we do is this. So you don't want to look at you don't want to turn off the targeting, right? So you want to look at the search term report, obviously, right? You want to look at specific, especially for broad match campaigns, right?
Yeah.
For broad, you can get all kinds of stuff coming in there. So the way we do it is the best way would be manually to do this, but it's not scalable, right? So we manage a lot of accounts. So sometimes we can't do that really. It's just too much work for our team. So what we do is we do like a hybrid version, right? For like a really high volume, very big brands, we have an automation where we select relevant or not. We select how many clicks we allow the keyword to get, pretty much, right? Mm-hmm. So some of them we allow up to like 20 or 25 clicks, depending on how expensive the product is or how we think the conversion rate should be, right? So if it hits that, then we would negate them. We would like an automation, like again, this is for like huge brands, bigger brands, right?
Yeah.
So we would have automation to negate that. Otherwise, we manually look at them, right? But then again, you got to have a limit. If you cannot, if more than 20 clicks doesn't make sense, you got to negate them. Either they're relevant or not, because you're gonna still bleed money. So you got to negate, especially in broad match campaign, broad and auto campaigns for sure. I would negate them, right?
Yes, agree. Okay, what about the peak speed, down, up and down? How do you use that, and which circumstance do you prefer?
Yeah, okay. So this one, we have very different ways we do it, right? Sometimes when we launch campaigns, like initially for launches and things, we go fixed bid. If we don't get enough traffic, so we typically do it this way. We launch using down only, always. If we don't get enough traction before changing the bids, we go fixed bid first, because we do have a calculation for what the starting bid should be. So if you don't get enough traction, we get fixed. If that doesn't work, we go up and down. And if that doesn't work, we go down only, and then we change the bid, we increase the bid. That's the way we do it until we get some traction, right?
Oh,
and then we revert back to down only.
okay,
Right.
but in long term, you use down only?
We favor down only for sure, 100%. If you're running profit driven campaigns, yeah. For ranking campaigns, not necessarily, right? For ranking campaigns, you got to use fix. I think fix would work best because you control the bid exact, right? But for anything else, down only. We favor that. Like I said, unless you don't have enough traffic, you're going to play with that to see, get some traction going, and then you go down only. But yeah, you don't want to mess with that stuff too much because it could get out of control for sure. With
Yeah.
especially with up and down, because
Yeah.
it's 100% fluctuation you get, right? So it could get out of hand.
What about the placement?
You know, placement, I'm kind of like undecided on that. We're testing like, other than type of search placement, right? Like ranking campaign, type of search, yeah, that's different. But anything else, I don't see good results from them, to tell the truth. And they're hard to optimize too, because once you start messing with those placements, they get tricky, you know, in terms of like optimizing. So I like using type of search, and we do some resto search or product pages for defensive campaigns, right? Specifically for that. But just managing it without an objective doesn't make sense to me. So it's basically two objectives I have. If you're doing ranking campaigns, you got to do type of search. You got to play with that. And if you're doing defensive, you got to target product pages. That's it.
Yeah.
The rest of search, I don't see, you know, yeah, it might convert better for a week and then revert back to what it was. So it's kind of hard to gauge if it makes sense, you know? So yeah, we only use it based on what the campaign objective is, pretty much.
Yes, yeah. I agree with what you said, because when you put the up and down, or you sometimes before, I remember we put some percent, 20, 30, 50.
Yeah.
It's going out of control. You cannot.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to control it because we use automation for the optimization. So we have like specific calculations we do, which gets messed up when we just change the percentage for sure. So that's why we try not to do too much of it. But yeah, it's kind of iffy. The results are not, you know, 1 week you'll be like, wow, it's awesome. And then next week, you're like, okay, so what's the point, you know? You might as well save the money and then just do down only 0%. You know, that's it. That's the
Same.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for today. Is there anything at the end you would like to add, and how the people can find you if they need to? I know, but you can say for our audience how they can find you.
Sure. So one thing I would say is, do not listen to Amazon when they tell you to increase your bids. Okay, that's one thing I would say. Do not do that, right? If you do that, you're just gonna spend more money. You're gonna make everybody spend more money. At the end of the day, only Amazon wins, right? It's not gonna be profitable. So be careful when you're changing bids for sure. Like, be careful with that. So next thing is, if you want to reach me, you could reach me on Facebook, Bernard Nader, or you can reach me by email, ben@ppcmaestro.com. So either way, or LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, and also Instagram, but not that much Instagram. So Facebook would be the best place, I think.
Okay. Guys, we are gonna add all that link, Nader profile link and their website, ppcmaestro.com, on the description of the video. You can reach out, get free audit, and get free help from the Nader. If you need any question, you can ask directly for him.
Yes, sir. Yep. Yeah, I like that stuff. I'm kind of PPC nerd. So yeah, reach out, ask anything you want.
Yeah, great. Thank you for today. There were definitely some interesting questions for me as well. I asked them, and the PPC question, as you said last time, PPC questions cannot finish in half hour.
Oh, no. Oof. Yeah. We can talk about this for days. Right? There's a lot. Yeah. But yeah, cool. Yeah. Thanks for inviting me. It was good. It was fun.
Thank you again. Please, guys, check out our video and the description. You can get any help you need from Nader. And if you have any question for me, you can ask there. We are going to reply all of them. Thank you, Nader, for today. It was really great to talk with you.
Awesome. Thank you very much for having me. Talk soon.
Bye-bye. Bye.